Hello Genshin Goons, we've only got a couple weeks left until Baal, the next Archon, drops into Genshin Impact, and I'm so excited. If you have been following my channel or have seen my other pull and skip videos, you already know I've been waiting for Raiden Shogun to join my team. So with all of that said, let's jump right into it. Here are 5 reasons why you should pull for Baal, the Electro Archon. Reason 1. The Raiden Shogun, aka Baal, is an Archon, and going off of our previous 2 Archons, Venti and Zhongli, this is a pretty big deal. So far, the track records for Archons are pretty meta-defining, or at the very least, they have carry potential for certain phases of the game. When the game first released, Venti was on literally every team because he was so useful at clumping up mobs for quick clears when people still haven't built up all of their teams and characters yet to help them clear harder content like the Abyss. Zhongli changed the game after he got buffed with his Jade Shield that not only provides a crap ton of defenses, but it also shreds enemies, making him fit into literally every team comp. He's the perfect shield with the perfect shred. So in the 2 Archons we previously had, we have the CC champion and then the defensive champion. So, what does the Raiden Shogun bring to the table? Well, she's looking to be the greatest Energizer Bunny of all time, and based on speculation and what we've seen so far, she's going to be able to produce a ton of energy particles as well as being able to directly restore energy to teammates. And before we dive into how her kit really works, let's go over to reason 2. She's got the Booba sword. Yeah, that's right, I went there. But there's a history behind this, I promise. So let's get into it real quick. So most people who have played miHoYo's previous game, Honkai Impact, guessed accurately that the Electro Archon was going to be Raiden Mei, a very important character within Honkai Impact 3rd, and we were right. Now the thing about Raiden Mei is that she uses a sword. However, in this game, she somehow uses a Naginata, or rather a polearm in the game. Not that there's anything wrong with polearms, but I'm sure Honkai Impact fans were expecting Raiden Mei, or rather Raiden Shogun, to be using a sword. So if you see certain fans of the characters complaining about her using a polearm, that may be why, because they were expecting a sword user. Now, I think having 2 playstyles, a polearm and a sword, is pretty cool. I know it probably won't do much outside of change the normal attack, but to me, the bigger or more nuanced the kit is, the better. Now, I'm hoping that you could maybe create a playstyle around being in sword mode a lot, because that seems to be how she's gonna do electro damage with her normal attacks, is in her sword form. So I'm really hoping that there is a way to maybe extend her sword form that she gets whenever she uses her elemental burst, which has a pretty high cooldown based on the speculative data that I've been looking at. This could change at the time of release though. One thing is for certain, I thought Child's kit was pretty cool, having a bow user being able to go into melee form, having the variance in animations and playstyle is very awesome. I'm hoping to see something similar with Baal, and the cooler thing here is that Baal has a plunge attack in her sword form. Sorry Child, better luck next time.
This is getting interesting.
Now you may be wondering, why are extra animations a big deal? Well, you know, it looks cool. You have different ways to play, you have different ways to build a character, and this allows me to set up more complex fights in my Genshin Machinima series. You were probably wondering when I was going to bring this up. Well, here it is. If you wanted to go on epic adventures with all your favorite characters and watch them partake in some seriously awesome choreographed fights, check out Epic Teyvat, a Genshin Machinima, on my YouTube channel. We are 2 seasons in, and if you're a fan of Child and Baal, there are very big plans coming, so if you are a Baal fan alone, subscribe right now, and I'll catch you in the next couple episodes, because I have a lot planned, and I'm going to go all out just this once. So you better go catch up, Baal fans. I'm watching you. Reason 3. Now this is where we hop over from the entertainment side to the analytical side. So Baal is all about using her friends as her power.
My friends are my power.
My friends are my power.
Let's say it together. My friends are my power.
My friends are my power.
My friends, they are my power.
Let me elaborate. Baal's true potential can only be seen once she builds up enough stacks of resolve, What is Resolve, you ask? Resolve is something that Baal obtains as part of her kit whenever her allies do one of two things. This is either in co-op or in single player mode. And that is if they use a burst or if they gain energy particles. So there's this feedback loop where whenever somebody bursts, Baal gets a benefit, and whenever Baal generates energy particles for the team, she also benefits. And once she builds up this resolve stack and uses her burst, not only is her burst damage greatly amplified, but so are her sword state attacks. So this is how Baal is going to be unsheathing her Booba sword, is by using her burst. After bursting, she is put in a state where she uses the sword as her normal attacks for a predetermined amount of time. We won't know how long that is until the actual release of the character, but I'm hoping it will work like this in the future, where maybe her sword duration will be dependent on the number of resolve stacks she has when she casts her burst, with say 7 seconds of sword duration being the bare minimum, 0 resolve stacks, and at maximum resolve stacks maybe 13 seconds. I say this because doing a risk reward type scaling like this would increase the playstyles that's available for Baal. So now if you want to play her as a main DPS, you just have to build a party centered around giving her max resolve stacks every time her burst is off cooldown. Now, based on theory crafting and known data, I don't think most people are going to have full resolve stack all the time when they burst with Baal in a regular team. So yes, to get the most out of her sword form in this way, you will need to build for it, and I think that's kind of like the best case scenario for a character, is that you have different ways to play them or different ways to build around them. But for now, just know that when she uses her burst, she's stuck in a sword form for a certain amount of time, and she gets a lot of benefit from that. And she can generate energy for characters directly, not generate energy particles, but every time she swings her sword and does damage, she can regenerate energy, a percentage-based regeneration up to 5 times. And with that, I want to lead to reason 4. Baal C6 is meta defining. Now, most people will never get to C6, so this is not going to be a big deal for everybody, but for those of you who are willing to go all the way with Baal, just know that her C6 is absolutely insane. What does it do tentatively? This is what I wish her whole kit revolved around, but it's locked behind C6. It's very powerful, and that is the ability to lower the hard cooldown of elemental bursts. This may change in the future, but right now the information that I'm given, it's saying that every time you hit with your sword form up to 5 times, you reduce the cooldown of everyone else's elemental burst in your party by 1 second, up to 5 times. So essentially, for everyone else except for Baal, you are reducing the elemental burst hard cooldown by 5 seconds. That's pretty freaking insane. This means that we can also see things like a double Ganyu burst, right? So there's going to be 2 little winter orbs shooting down icicles at people from just one Ganyu. Just imagine all the other bursts that have a long duration time, and just imagine reducing the hard cooldown on that. Now you're going to be able to have 100% uptime on a lot of things, if you're willing to go full ham and whale for Baal. Alright, reason 5. You like the character, you like the design, you think she's awesome. For me personally, you already know I am a Baal simp, but I will always say this about the Archons in Genshin Impact. If you are a free-to-play player or a low spender, I feel like Archons are probably your best investment. They usually tend to be supportive and will be able to carry your team through a lot of different situations. I mean, like I mentioned before in the beginning of the video, look at Venti, look at Zhongli. They're all meta defining in some way. Of course, Zhongli needed a buff before he got to that state, but still. Archons have a really important role in the story and in the balancing of Genshin Impact. So, if you are free to play or a low spender and are planning your account for optimal clearing and things like that, I think Archons are definitely worth the investment if you don't have any preferences for characters. Alright, those are 5 reasons why you should pull for Baal. I'll see you in the next video.